Hello, this is John Manimas, and it's August 2020, and this is my last main message in the John Manimas Campaign 2020. Make voting viral. That's what you need to do in order to have a nonviolent revolution by vote and avoid a violent revolution that will come. Someday you may have the experience of hands up, hands on your head. You're under arrest for having an unapproved opinion. Yeah, that could happen here in the United States of America. It has started. We have secret police on the streets in America, and we have constant attacks on the free press. I know your goals, voters and non-voters. I know what you want from the government, from the Republican Party, and from the Democratic Party. And you give them their votes, but what do you get in exchange for your vote? You get nothing but words. I know what you want. You want more political parties. You want real democracy. You want majority rule, which is promised by our Constitution. Our Constitution promises a Republican form of government. You want Black Lives Matter. You want social justice, economic justice, equal respect for all races, equal rights for everybody. You want economic justice. You want firearm safety. You want public health and environmental protection. You want a national health system. You want a reasonable population policy and population management. You want educational opportunities to be connected to employment opportunities. You want to minimize the class divisions in our society, minimize the class conflicts. You can achieve these goals by voting. Ask yourself, who is responsible to create and maintain democracy in America? Well, you can make it your responsibility. I made it my responsibility. That's why I created this opportunity for non-voters, 40% of the electorate. In 2020, that's nearly 100 million people. It's more or less 95 to 96 million people who are eligible to vote and will not vote if the pattern is continued as it has been for the last 120 years. Henry Jackson and myself and a few other people created this opportunity where non-voters can register as no-party voters and have the option of voting against the two-party system and for election reforms, for mandatory voting, for fusion voting, for ranked choice voting, for party coalitions between new and minor parties and old and major parties. This would make it very difficult or impossible for a small group of rich, selfish people to try to control our elections with their money. What you need to do to make voting viral is register as a no-party voter. If anyone asks you, who are you going to vote for? How are you going to vote? What are you going to do? Well, you are free. I'm not telling you who to vote for or how to vote. You can write in John Manimas and vote against the two-party system and for election reforms, but you can vote for the Democratic candidates or the Republican candidates or third-party candidates, or you could at the last minute decide once again that it's just too much of a waste of your time. You can decide that your vote makes no difference, but I think you're wrong. Your vote makes a tremendous difference because when you don't vote, that's a decision, and what you're doing is you're supporting the outcome, however bad it could be, and it could be really bad in 2020. Don't wait until the Gestapo knocks on your door at 1 in the morning. Don't wait until newspaper editors and media reporters on TV are arrested and disappear. Don't wait too long. So how will it work? You just register as a no-party voter, and if anybody asks you how you're going to vote, you just say, well, you know, I want more choices. I want more political parties. I want real political competition. I want more voters. I want everybody to vote. But if we don't get 100%, I'd like to get 70% or 80%, you see, because we only have 60% now. So this revolution by vote can occur by making voting viral now. It's August. There is time. You have half the month of August, the whole month of September, and in many states, even most of October, because you have the deadline for registration is not too far from the actual voting date in most states. You still have time to register. If you registered in the past 5 years or so, you need to register again because you probably moved or something changed. Don't give them an excuse to throw your ballot away. Make sure you're registered to vote properly. It's local. Voter registration is local. Your right to vote is national and state. You have that right according to your state law and your federal law, but registration is something you have to do locally in a county or town or city. So how will it work? Here's how the revolution by vote will work. If we can reduce the non-participation of 40% to 30%, even 5%, even just to 35%, that would be good. But I think a real goal, a possible goal, is to reduce it from 40% to 30%. That's 10% of the total electorate, and that's in the vicinity of about 20 million voters. Imagine adding 20 million no party, purple voters throughout the nation. That would change the election in every city and state, in every town. They could not control the seesaw that they depend on so that they can protect minority control of the government by a small political class, even smaller than the American nobility. That's the way it works. That's the way the two-party system works. It protects and preserves minority rule by a political class. And they do it by tagging every one of you, all the voters, tagging you as red or blue. But if you register as a no-party voter and you're unpredictable and they can't be sure whether you're going to vote for a Democrat or Republican, then the seesaw is broken. The fulcrum is broken. The seesaw is thrown off balance and broken in half and dropped on the ground. They can't control it anymore because you are a no-party voter and you're not predictable. You're not telling anybody who you're voting for. You just want more. You want something for your vote. You want more democracy. You want more choices. You want the whole list of goals of the protesters. All the protesters. You want more democracy, more justice, more equality, more public health, more safety. You don't want to be in total chaos when we have a disease. And the reason we have a pandemic is because the rich took control of the government and they started very effectively to wreck government regulation. The purpose of government regulation is to protect the public health, and protecting the public health is the first duty of government. And if you want to defend your government and your democracy and your country, your constitution and your flag, you need to make voting viral. Make it the right thing to do, the cool thing to do, whether you're right, left, up or down, hippie, straight, gay, whatever you are. We all have to be voters. We have to do the right thing. We have to make America responsible again. We have to make voting viral. And if you can't think of any other reason to vote, I'm going to tell you a couple of others. One is, remember President Eisenhower. He was a true conservative. He was a great general, a great warrior, and a great president. He not only warned us that rich industrialists would try to take over the government in 1959 when he said goodbye and ended his 2 terms as president. That's not only the right thing he did. President Eisenhower said something else that fewer people remember. He said, "The people want peace, and someday we'll have to get out of their way and let them have it." Well, you know what? We can put other words in that same phrase and it means almost the same thing. The people want firearm safety, and the two-party system will have to get out of their way and let them have it. people want economic justice, and the two-party system will have to get out of their way and let them have it. The people want genuine equality for all races and ethnic groups, and the two-party system needs to get out of the way and let the people have it. The people want a reasonable cost for education, and they want a connection between education and employment. The people want everybody to be employed if you need money. If that's the basic principle of our economy, you can get what you want so long as you have money, then everybody needs to have money. And if everybody needs to work in order to have money, if that's the approved way to have money, then everybody has to have a job. And it doesn't matter whether it's public or private or how it was made up. Millions of people work in offices, and those jobs are made up jobs because we don't know what the hell to do with educated people unless we give them a job in an office. So here we go. That's President Eisenhower, and you can say thank you to him, and you can say thank you to a few other people, several million people, our veterans, who risked their lives, lost their legs, their arms, lost their memories, lost their brain function, blind, deaf, unable to sleep, unable to think, permanent damage from concussions. Their lives are ruined. And they risked their lives. They paid that price so that we, all of us, would have the right to vote. So when I'm in the ballot box on November 3rd, I'm going to say it. I won't shout it because I don't want to be a nuisance, but I'm going to say it. In this same voice, I'm going to say, this is me saying thank you. So there's a reason to vote and make voting viral. Not just to have a burger in May or November and wave the flag and give a speech and say thank you. Do your thank you. Put your thank you into action. Register to vote. Register as a no-party candidate. Make America responsible again. Make voting viral. Share this with everybody you know. Share it every reasonable, legal way you can. Let's do this in 2020. Let's make voting viral.